welcome to the first day of the challenge. I hope you are excited and keen to start as well as I am. So, well, this first day is going to be dedicated to two basic movements that we always do, and it's really important that we perform them, with the best technique, because they replicate movements that we're going to be doing in our day-to-day basis. So if we know how to do them, we're going to prevent to get injured or to get physical discomfort. So these two movements are a squat and a hip hinge, and I'm sure you all have done this movement loads of times in the gym, in class, and also in your day-to-day. This is really important during pregnancy because we're going to be putting on weight, and that's what has to happen. Obviously, we need to control this weight gain, but we have to put on weight because we are developing a baby. So the stronger we have our legs and the stronger we have our pelvic masses and all the masses around the pelvis and hips, the better our body is going to deal with that extra weight. That's why it's important to keep them strong, and also in order to prevent pelvic girdle pain or symphysis pubic dysfunction or any pain around your lower back and your pelvis. This is also important in the postnatal period because we're going to be moving loads, and also because the pelvis has been modified because of the pregnancy, and now it doesn't have that pressure and that weight to support. So that's why it's also important to keep the muscles in our legs and around our hips and pelvis strong and healthy. And also in the postnatal period, we're going to be pushing a pram, we're going to be taking loads of stuff from the floor, we're going to be picking up the baby, we're going to be moving the car seat, and obviously our legs are going to be doing most of these tasks. We're going to be moving loads with our legs, and we're going to transfer load from the legs all the way up. So that's why as well we need to keep them strong. So, well, we're going to go first with the squat pattern. So what you're gonna see in the video is me performing a squat and explaining the technique. So, well, I'll see you after the video. Bye. Hi ladies. Well, let's go with a practical or technical explanation of how to do a really good squat. So we always want to start either with our legs hips width apart or shoulders width apart. That's for a normal plain squat, okay? So that depends on how you feel more comfortable. Probably at the end of the pregnancy, you're going to feel more comfortable having your legs a little bit wider, so we have space for the belly, but it really depends. Like for me, it's somewhere between my hips width and my shoulders width, because that's where I feel comfortable. So to start, we always think about moving our bum backwards and flexing our knees. That's a normal one. Okay, so you're going to feel your body weight is going a little bit backwards, so that's what we want you to feel. Really important is our feet position, so we don't want to go forward, so our heels are going to go off the floor. We don't want to go either really back, so our toes are going to be off the floor as well, and I will lose my balance as you're seeing. So we want a nice and stable position where I can control my heels on the floor and my toes on the floor as well, so I don't go doing this kind of swing with my feet. If you're not sure if you're doing this okay, we can use either a wall or a chair. Okay, if you're using a wall, we can stand kind of your arm's length from the wall or a little bit closer, and what we want is to touch the wall with our bum. I was too far away, so you saw my toes were off the floor. So I can come a little closer, and what I want is to touch my bum with the wall, and always controlling that my toes and my heels are on the floor, and that my knees are not going beyond my toes. They should be somewhere between my heels and my toes. Okay, and always chest up and shoulders relax. So that's our basic squat. Now you get to practice, and in the next one we will see how to do a good hip hinge. Okay ladies, so well, now you've seen and you've learned how to perform a really good squat, and You just need to keep those basic aspects every time you do a squat, or every time you do different types of squats, as we'll see later in the exercise routine. And our next movement is a hip hinge. So what you're gonna see next is the same, a video me explaining how to do a proper hip hinge with a really good technique. Okay, so same, I'll see you after the video. Bye. Okay ladies, so let's go with how to perform a good hip hinge pattern. So this is a little bit trickier than squat, but I'm sure you're gonna get it. So what we want first is to have our shoulders super relaxed. You should feel the blades bringing themselves together a little bit, so feeling like a little pinch between your shoulder blades. But we don't want this posture to be exaggerated. We don't want to go like this, okay? We want it to be nice and relaxed, and for you to feel comfortable. We want to keep our pelvis in a neutral position, so that's halfway in between our pelvis tilted forward and our pelvis tilted backwards. So somewhere in between, that's our neutral pelvis. And we want our pelvic bones here pointing forward, okay? So in that position, with our shoulders relaxed, our shoulder blades engaged, we're going to do a hip flexion and then a hip extension. So that's mimicking the movement of a hinge. So we go hinge down and then up. You notice I'm bending my knees a little bit. And the most important thing is that I keep my head, my neck and my back on the same line as I go down and up. If you're not sure you're keeping your back in a straight line, what you can use is, well, either you can put your phone on camera mode and you can just check yourself, you can take a video of yourself, or you can use a mirror. That's the best advice I can give you. So if you have a mirror next to you, you can check how your back is going. And the difference with the squat is that the weight is going in different directions. So when we're squatting, our weight is going a little bit backwards, okay? And when we hinge, our weight is going forward. So I hope you can feel the difference in between these movements, because sometimes we mix them and that's a mistake. We have to make sure when we're doing a squat and when we're doing a hip hinge pattern, okay? So just practice a few more with me. Same, heels and toes on the floor, and we just go hinge and up. Normally what we want to do with our breath is breathing in as we hinge and breathing out as we move up, because normally we're going to be moving the weight as we come back up, and we want to breathe out and use our breath to move us back up and to be able to move the weight or the load we're carrying. Okay, so now you know how to perform a good squat and a good hip hinge, and you can get to practice later in the exercise routine. Okay ladies, so well, now you know how to perform these two basic movements, squat and hip hinges. We're going to be practicing this loads because, as I say in the beginning of this video, they are movements that we're going to replicate in our day-to-day basis. So well, now we have to practice, and you will get the video with the exercise routine for today, which will be based in squat pattern and hip hinge pattern. Hope you enjoy ladies, and you get to practice. Bye bye.